It's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bump into your broadcast, grab a chair, fill your glass. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bump into your broadcast, grab a chair, fill your glass.
Hey. Welcome to the Really Charlie Podcast. My name is Charlie Perry, and today's guest will be Tenesha L. Curtis. Great artist, great creator. She's awesome. She's doing her thing with publishing and making magic. And I say that because she helps people create their stories and put them in a book, and it's awesome. So she'll be here momentarily. We are just trying to get things going here, but I didn't want to lose this feed, so I went live. And here's my wonderful guest right now. I see her on in the studio, so I'm going to bring her to the screen. Tenesha, I see you. There you are. Hello, how you doing?
Good.
Let's try to, I'm going to turn this phone off because
Is this better?
I do not want to hear.
Unlock your iPhone first.
There we go. All right. How you hearing me? Seems like it's frozen. Frozen like an ice cube. All right. We're going to try to adapt to this a little bit. Tenesha, you there? All right. Well, I'm going to we're going to try to figure out something out here. If you can, Tenesha, just try to log back off and come back on again. My guest, Tenesha, is the director of Atlanta's Writers Club.
Okay.
So, are you there? All right. Let me see here. Tenesha, I see you. How you doing?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Tenesha, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to have you here on the show. Seen you in the comments on other podcasts with other guests that are mutual friends of ours. And it was so good to someone suggested that you could. Yeah. Well, you get this fascinating resume, and you're doing a lot of things that I wish I could do. And I never say never, but all my books are self-published, so I like the creative part of doing that and living and learning and trial and error, and that was me. But I think that what it did is it made me a better writer by going through all those trials and tribulations of being a self-publisher. So, what inspired you to do this?
Okay. I didn't catch all, but it sounded like you were saying that your books are self-published as well.
Yes.
Which is great. And I just, for me, it was just a decision because of my anxiety. I just couldn't. I have a lot of respect for people who try to go the commercial route because it's just like I just don't know that I would against rejection, and years of trying to find someone to publish just one book, especially since I write so much, I would just have this backlog and it just of stuff just sitting there, waiting to be published. So I just was probably for me to take. So that it actually gets done and I don't get discouraged and things like that. Like I just at that point in my life, there was just no way. Like I couldn't have done it, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. True. It, I just didn't want that disappointment. Also, I didn't want to continue to write requests or write, my ideas to people, and then they critique it and kind of hurt my feelings, and then put me into a writer's block where I don't want to write anymore, because that happened to me when I was getting the bad criticism or not getting accepted. That's when I kind of went into a shell and I didn't write any longer. So reaching out to agents was something that I didn't want to do. However, I felt if I did the self-publishing part, I would have the books in hand and present it to an agent that way, But I didn't do that either, So I want to talk to you about being a director of the Atlanta's Writers Club. First and foremost, I just want to let you know, and everybody else that's involved with it, you guys are doing a fabulous job, and it's very, very impressive. I wish we had something like that up this way, just because I see that you do that. You do a conference 2 times a year, and I think that's amazing, very amazing. So how long have you been with them?
Well, thank you. It's a lot. Yeah, a lot more than I bargained for. And just to be clear, I'm directing the Atlanta Self-Publishing Conference, not the whole club. I just want to make sure that nobody. I'm gonna leave that up to George and Jill and all of those folks.
Yeah.
I'm just doing this one little piece, this one time.
Okay.
I couldn't imagine doing what they do on a day-to-day basis.
Yes. Actually, if I had read that right.
Yeah, it's been great.
It's right in front of me. It says Atlanta Writers Club Self-Publishing Conference. It says it right there. So they I like people. Yeah, it happens to all of us, I guess, right? The conference is April 29th, right, in Atlanta? The one you're doing?
Yes, April 29th.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm trying to make that a trip. And I have all the information. And so I would hope that I would get a chance to see you and many, many others that came onto the Really Charlie podcast. Yes, I can't wait. Let's see. As I do this podcast and I meet different people like you, it always leads to me meeting other people and other writers. It's amazing how much creativity is out there. So much creativity. And sometimes we get satisfied of what's on the shelf, on those common shelves, whether it's in the library, whether it's on a shelf at home. There's another shelf, and I call it the top shelf, is those artists, those authors, those publishers that are doing their own thing. Those stories are amazing because, I can relate to them. I can really relate to them. Excuse me. So I want to, and actually, I just referred you to a friend of mine. So here, that's trying to get their book started, and I gave her all your information.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, I gave her your name. Actually, I just trying to get their book, and I gave her all your information.
Oh,
Do you have
well,
another
thank you.
device on? Yeah. I gave her your name. Just trying to get their book. And my patient. Have another device on? Yeah. I gave her your name. Just trying to get their book. See, I hear some background noise. There must be a device on.
Are you in the echo, Charlie?
Yeah, it's there's another device on, I think. Is it your phone or a laptop? That's usually the problem when it does that, is it's another device. And I don't have anything on my end other than the laptop that I'm in front of.
Hold on. Okay, that might be better. Because I was hearing you better through my phone without, and it wasn't freezing. But then it sounds like when I use my phone, that gives an echo. So I feel like we just can't win.
No, we can't. Technology is
all right.
It's crazy, and I hope it gets better because the cream of the crop is in the state of Georgia, and I have to keep on picking down there. I got to keep reaching out to you guys, you know. Some of my amazing guests are right down there with you and doing some great things. So I'm trying to, keep going down there. I have such a long list that was provided to me by our friends, and it's going to bring me into springtime once I get in touch with everybody, which is good. So chances are you're going to see a lot of people you do know right here on the Really Charlie podcast. All right, let's see. I'm going to use some of the questions here that I have in front of me. It says, what do you think is the biggest obstacle in the way of new writers in their dream of becoming an indie author?
Okay.
Did you get that question, Tenesha?
Not all of it. I heard, what do you think is the biggest obstacle in that out?
Yeah. All right. What do you think is the biggest obstacle in the way of new writers and their dreams of becoming an indie author?
All right, I got a little bit more. In the way of new writers.
All right. Okay.
And then it cut out again.
All right. I don't know, Tenesha. We might have to kind of postpone this until we get this right. I really don't want to do a disservice to you because it's you're an amazing person.
No,
and
I know. Yeah, I know the weather's weird, and again, I'll put in the chat if it's easier. You could call me the audio part if you wanted that, and then it might. That might be a way to pull it off. But try to at least answer the part of the question I heard. I'm assuming that was the crux of it.
All right, let me see if I can.
So as far as I've seen, the biggest obstacle, or one of them, is definitely perfectionism.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a crippling thing, like to just think that, oh, well, my stuff is, and comparing yourself to other people and stuff like that is just really, really harmful. In my opinion, right? I've just seen people go years and years working on a project, which is not, people do that. That's fine. But it's just the idea that there's some line that they're supposed to cross or something like bell that they're supposed to work. Now this is a perfect piece of literature. Now I can go, and publish it. And it's like, okay, but you could have done that years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just really helpful to understand that no matter what you write, there's always going to be somebody that doesn't like it. No matter what you write, there's no such thing as a perfect book. There's no such thing as somebody who writes something and just every single person that comes in contact with it just loves it. I've never seen that anyway. If you can think of one, let me know.
No.
And so knowing that, I felt like understanding that helped me relax when it came to publishing and writing my stuff, because I'm like, okay, it's true, right? Like I've never run across a book, every single person that read it loved it. So I should probably back away from trying to be perfect, whatever that even means, and just write what I enjoy writing.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I do that, then I can find my own kind of vibe, if you will, right? I am stuff that I for people who also enjoy it, and we're just all having a good time together, as opposed to me trying to write to people who probably wouldn't be interested in my stuff anyway. So why I put so much effort into trying to impress somebody, right, who, we're not on the same wavelength. Everybody can't like everything. So that, I think, is one of the biggest things I see kind of standing in the way of people pursuing their dreams of publication, is just they think, oh, well, this isn't, something that every single person is going to love, so I just shouldn't write it. It's like, well, no. Do you love
True.
it? And I guarantee you, if you love it, you will. Well, I'm the only person that likes this or whatever, then they never would have gotten started. So don't worry about perfection. Just get it done. Okay, I think this is you, Charlie.
Yeah.
Hello.
We're going to try something. All right. I think that's a little bit better.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right. Let's see if.
So if I put it on
speakerphone, is that okay, or do you have it?
Yeah, and I have it on speaker now. So
We're good?
yeah, I think we're good. We're good.
Perfect.
All right. How do you usually you would probably spot out a good talent, something's brought to you by another author. But they're just like you said, they're a little resistant and a little shy about bringing.
Just like you said, they're a little resistant.
How do you encourage them to keep it going? Especially when it's something that you're trying to be involved in and get this book published by this person.
Okay. How do you encourage them to keep it going?
Stuff that I just said.
It's just like, listen, there's no such thing as perfect. It's not about trying to please everybody. It's trying to please yourself.
It's like, listen, there's no such thing as perfect. It's not about trying to please everybody.
Right. So, actually, I recently just had a client, and she asked me a couple of times, which I thought was interesting.
Actually, I recently just had a client, and she asked me a couple of times, how do you know when somebody just needs to throw a manuscript out and start over? How do you know when it's just not going to work? Out and start over. How do you know when it's just not going to work?
I don't know that I've ever run into that.
And again, it's my job
as an editor to figure that out. Like, okay, how do we clean this up? Keep your voice. Stay in the genre that you are, shooting for.
Stay in the genre.
That's a big part of what I help.
So I don't think it would be helpful for you to come into the situation with the mindset of, well, first, this is worth it, right? Because it's art, it's you expressing yourself, it's you getting your ideas out there. I think that's a beautiful thing. There may be some grooming that may need to happen to help you communicate your idea more to other people. So explaining that, that there's no, oh, we just got to dump the whole thing out and just start all the way over. There is none of that. I've never run into a manuscript to this day. That's all I can say, right? Who knows what people know? To this day, I've never run into a manuscript where I was like, yeah, just start over. This is terrible, right? And I have been exposed to a wide range of skill levels, a wide range of genres. So I really feel pretty confident. And no matter what you throw at me, we can figure it out. And as time goes on, and showing them, hey, this is part of the process. Because I think another thing that kind of is a hurdle for new writers is they think, oh, well, Toni Morrison. They just write their first draft. No, stop.
True.
There's a whole process, that goes into grooming and crafting a book. That first draft, yes, we need to get that done so we have something to work with. But that's not what goes on the shelf, So just understand that this is step one, as opposed, because I think there's a paralyzing kind of fear. It's like, okay, well, it has to be, published ready. And it's like, no, just make it exist first, right? Give me the diamond in the rough, and then we can work on getting rid of the rough.
True.
Right? So that's kind of how I look at it. That seems to help.
Yes, it does. I have many friends that are sitting on some material that could be bestsellers in my eyes. Me too. And I try to tell, including myself, I have some stories that I just haven't pushed, but my friends have some amazing stories. And I just wish they would just sit behind a laptop, and it only takes about 30 minutes a day, and just do that until you finally get it done. And then after it's done, you can do the editing later, but just get the story out there. So you can sit down with someone like you and sit and edit the whole story, make it a little bit more comprehensible, because most of the time people need to add or delete some things. And that's what editing's about. So and that's when you come in. I think I'm going to have to alternate who I send things to, or who I send. I'll send a creator to you. I'm going to have to send a creator to Adrian. I'm going to have to alternate, because you guys are amazing. And what I got to do, it's like, people are telling me, I want to get a book published. People are telling me, I want to get a book published. Well, we'll send you to Tenesha, and that's what I did this week. And I want this young lady that she I believe has a great story about her life. And sometimes, you get a little reluctant, don't want to put it out there, but I think that if you're reaching out to someone like a publisher, someone that will teach you to self-publish, that means you want to tell a story, so you should tell it out, good, bad, or ugly. That means you want to tell a story, bad or ugly. Because I think when you don't get stories like that, you have mental stress, not illness, but it's your mental health becomes a little bit of a problem in life, and you think that people don't get those things out there. And so I'm always trying to encourage people to do that. I want to mention that we had from Christy on the comment section saying hello. Jeff Shaw writes, another amazing writer.
He
says
says
that
another amazing writer.
I think there's a dome over Atlanta that traps the
There's a
city.
dome over Atlanta.
Yeah, I saw that one.
It's
Right.
true.
It's true.
But
Mhm.
it doesn't help that you guys getting all that
It doesn't help that you
bad
guys
weather
getting all
down
that
there also. So
bad weather down there also. So
Right.
it
Yes.
seems like it's surpassing us. It's either
seems like
going
it's
above
surpassing us. It's
my
either
area or
going
just
above
below. So I'm
my
looking out.
area.
Mm.
Or fucking.
Right. You're in
So I want to go back to the
I want to go back to the Atlanta's
the self-publishing conference.
the self-publishing conference.
So if someone wants to attend
So if someone wants to,
that, what's the process? Going online?
what's the process going
Literally just go to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're literally just going to go to Atlanta Self-Publishing Conference. Easy to navigate as possible. At the top, there's just a strip and whatever you're looking for, tickets, if you want to become a vendor or whatever, like it's all right there at the top. You click on what you want and it'll take you right to that spot on the page.
Very nice. I mean,
very nice.
yeah, and I just want to second that. It is easy.
Second that.
I did check it out, but
Great.
I just wanted to hear from you.
Yay.
Just wanted to hear from you.
Now,
Oh, and I want to say, if I
Go ahead.
can,
The club membership.
the Atlanta Writers Club membership fee, your annual dues,
So
is if you register
and become a member or renew
Register
your membership
and become a member or renew your signing up for this conference, you will keep the old rate.
for the next year.
Okay, for the next year. Now, after that, it's going to go up like normal. But you can save a little money if you go ahead and register right now. Then you won't have to pay that higher fee for your membership next year.
awesome.
Just want to let people know that. Save some money.
Save some money. And we got some other
That register
perks as well
by
for
the end
people
of
that
December. We got
register.
a lot of
by
really
this
good stuff,
stuff.
awesome resources. But you gotta hurry up and knock it
Knock
out.
it out. Don't procrastinate. I know writers are famous for that.
Include,
Get it done.
including
Go
me.
ahead and get it done.
Including me.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I want to also let you know that anytime you want to come on here, please do come on. I really want to have other conversations with you, whether it's just to talk about your craft, maybe talk about life, whatever it may be. And I'm going to review a lot of things that you're involved in and support you as much as I can. Yep. And feel free, just tag my name. Tag my name on anything that you're doing. And I'll make sure that I share it on everything that I'm possibly doing. One of the newest platforms I have is Fireside, which is awesome. And I like it because it's very interacting. You can applaud, you can scream. There's party sounds, there's love signals, it's all that stuff. Just to make a guest and a host really feel that what we're getting out there is worthwhile. So that I want you to come back on that one. And with Fireside, they're very kind of pro Apple or iPhone or iPad. I don't know what you use. That's what they try to do. It's a whole lot easier. With Apple stuff, Apple and Fireside, what they do is they try to stop you from getting viruses and other foolishness. And so that's why they work together. It's been working well. So we gotta. I'll be sending you an invite soon. More likely January compared to February. And so you can come on Fireside with me.
That sounds like a plan.
Because in most shows, when I'm done with it on the podcast, the show on Fireside, we usually shared about 2,000 or more times. So, and so that's why I want to offer to you and my other guests that were here on to come to that fireside platform. And like with you, you could be a creator on Fireside. You can actually create something on a weekly, maybe bi-weekly basis. And it doesn't have to be anything long, because my friend Chris in San Francisco, he does one every day, but it's for 15 minutes, and then he's done. And it's one of the most popular shows on Fireside. But all right, let's see. Tanisha, I know I talked about. Is there something you want to talk about?
Well, I guess so. I mean, like I said, I was really open to conversation to go, but I do have a follow-up to, of course, like a good little guest.
Yeah.
So here's how to outline a book fiction.
Oh, nice.
That I wrote and published earlier this year, and so I just finished the one for self. So if you have a fiction idea or a self-help idea, there are now available that you can go and their workbook, the space to write and things like that. And they're really just meant to, like in the experience that I've had with newbie writers over the past
almost 15 years.
15 years? Okay. So almost 15 years. I'm working with people, the questions that they ask, especially about like getting started. So I hope, right, fingers crossed, I've covered a lot of that in these 2 volumes. And I'm planning more to down in mystery or romance or things like that. Things like that. Because I like to read a lot of different genres and I write in a lot of genres. So I just want to kind of, I'm not going to say I'm someone or anything like that.
Yeah.
Master of every single one or anything like that. Just again help just again get that first step. Like, okay, well, how do I even just conceptualize what I want to write? And so either of those books, like I said, whatever works for you, how to outline a book fiction and how to outline a book self-help. And remember that WriterWorks University here that I've written on outlining, on self-revisions, on actually writing the manuscript, all these different things that the process that we have to go through to get these books out. I'm actually in the process right now of putting together Go Pub Yourself. And that is going to be just a collection where I'm literally holding a big collection where I'm literally holding. And we're going to walk turn off the email and set up your KDP account and outline the just like boom. It's gonna be a large one, but my hope is that it's gonna be helpful so that, like I said, people don't feel quite lost in those beginning stages of the process.
You know what? It's that's great, because that's where I was. I was real lost. I didn't know whether to go left, right, down the hill, up the hill. I didn't really know what to do with my writing. I was like, and I was so stuck in the beginning. And then eventually it all came. I started getting the hang of it. And if I was in school, I probably would have basically get and this is my opinion, an average grade. When it comes to some of the writing. But I have learned, and I think that my latest stuff has become a whole lot better. Basically by listening to people like you. So because I don't like changing my writing, I don't like to change the way I write. I want it to stay original. I want it to stay organic. And some people think it's not going to reach the population that I need it to. And I say, well, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But I got to start taking more criticism a little bit and absorb it like a sponge. I mean, I do absorb a lot of things, but there's some other things that I really need to do. I mean, when I sit back and I read stories from Kim, from Gabby, from George, from Catherine, when I'm reading their stories and I'm saying, I want to thought of kind of describing things the way they did. And I want to get to that point because I have a lot of perceptions about, I have great pictures in my head. Now, like George had mentioned about, now you got to taste that. Well, I can do that. I just got to know how to write it. I'll probably be hiring you soon.
Listen, I'm not going to fight it. But yeah, I think that, and I mean, I think you bring up another great point. It's a big one that's hard is criticism, right? Like in critique groups and stuff like that. Or just hearing back from alpha readers, or I'm saying, however you're doing your process, it can just be really hard, especially as a new writer if you've never done it before, or it's not what you're used to. Because I think a lot of us at that point in our career, we take it very personally, and I get that because we feel like we put our heart on the page. And for you to be like, oh, I don't like the color of it, or it stinks, or I mean, it's like. Okay, that is painful, but I think there are a couple of things that can be really helpful, and this I'm pulling from my past as a clinician, right? When something feedback, try your best to remove it. It's not about necessarily, especially in this context, right? You're not a bad person or a bad. You're just all they're literally saying human. They're literally saying human. Guess what? You're not perfect. That's a bit easier to hear because it's like, well, of course, right? Exactly. And then the other thing is, sometimes people will say stuff that doesn't fit. So don't think that just because somebody tells you something, you actually have to make that change, or you automatically have to add in that thing or whatever. It's like, well, maybe. So one example is like, we had a guy who came to one of the critique groups that I'm part of, and he had this really great article that he had written, and he got all this feedback about different stuff that he could do with it. Like he could have went to like more comedic, he could have made it a little more dramatic, he could have made it a little romantic, whatever. Like he had all this different stuff. Now, as a seasoned writer, I understand that means what he had was really solid.
Yep.
Because if it wasn't, then we'd be digging in and saying, no, you need to reconstruct this, rearrange that. But we're kind of going to the next level because like your basic content is fantastic. Here's some other things you could do with it. If you want. He took it upon him. He took it as I have to do all of these things. He tried to do all. And I'm like, well, hold on. And then when he brought it back, we're like, okay, you went this way, and you could also go this way and that way. And he's like, wait a minute, y'all told me to do X, Y, and Z. I'm like, oh, we told you had options. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's up to you, the author, to decide what works what you like. I, as someone who writes more dark, thrilling stuff, as you want to call it, I may have a bent more towards, okay, let's cut into the action immediately. This is not scary enough, so on and so forth. That may be more where I come from organically.
Yes.
But if you're writing romance, that doesn't fit, right? Because it's a whole different genre. So I think a lot of times people do just try to apply, whatever they read the most, they try to apply and that structure to every single piece, and that's not always helpful. So it can also be beneficial to remember, hey, it's my project. I'm in control. These people are just giving me ideas. I get to pick what I want to follow and what I don't. And when you validate the fact that you're in control, recognize that, it can become a little bit easier to say, okay, let me take down all the feedback I can, and I'm going to go home, review it, and I get to decide, what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. The things these people are saying to me is they are there. Right? They're just offering up different perspectives on my work. So I think thinking about it that way helped me a lot anyway, as far as not trying to chase or like herd cats with all these different ideas coming my way for my work. Being like, okay, well, what am I trying to accomplish? And what feedback fits with what I am trying to
write, a murder mystery, or to write a romantic comedy or whatever.
A murder mystery, or to write
a
romantic comedy or what.
What he didn't realize is that all those different critiques could have been one of his next books. When you kind of think of it, he could have.
True.
Go ahead and if you're going to do the romance thing, do it.
Go ahead and
and now book number 2 that comes out, could be a thriller thing, kind of with the same type. Maybe just a little twist, but make it a thriller. So that's book 2. And then you go down the table. There's another criticism. Well, I think maybe you should do perhaps a crime novel. And he could have kind of jumped into that too.
Exactly.
So I wish him well, whoever he is, and take all that. And I jumped around. I had poetry is my thing, and that's the thing that I do every day. So I have tons of it. I mean, if I needed to put out a book every month, I could do that. Then again, excuse me. But I want to try some other things. I did a erotic book. Somebody, asked me to do it. I did it. I tried it. I liked it. Sales wasn't too good, but like they say, there's one thing an author can do. There's one thing an author can't do that a pizza delivery guy can do. A pizza delivery guy can feed a family of 4 every day. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
nice. Oh my goodness. And that's, you just been hitting on all these great points. That's another thing. I literally had a guy. Lord have mercy, bless him. He was like, okay, I want to write this book about my life. I get lots of people who want to do that. But his perspective was, once this book comes out, I'm quitting my job, and that's going to be my full-time career. And I was like, oh, pause.
Yes.
Like, wait a minute. And just explaining that, okay, listen, again, it's not, I feel like there's some people that it's either or. Either I'm going to be completely poor and I'm not going to make any money ever, or I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow. Like, okay, this is a gradual progression. Okay, like yes, you can get to that point, but it's going to take some work. And yes, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be your very first book, right? So just, I try to, the way I talk to or explain it to some people is it's kind of like
having a footprint.
Right, having a footprint, right, and the bigger your footprint, so what your pinky toe, right, it's good, it's something you started, but then you want the rest of your toes down and the ball of your foot, and you know what I'm saying, your heel, and like you want that whole footprint, and that is where you'll start to see the money really coming in. It's like after several books on the market, not just one. And I think sometimes they do hear these, these one-off stories of happening to people, and I'm like, great. And I want that. Listen, I had a magic one. I would give that to everybody. I say, yep. As soon as they publish that first one, they're going to be millions of dollars richer, and their life is just going to be. However, I have to deal with the reality of the situation that I've seen in the market, which is that's probably not going to happen, right? So it's okay to have that hope, it's okay to have that dream. All I make sure that you don't pretend that that dream is reality until it actually is.
True. Exactly.
So I talked that guy back, like, hold on, buddy. Let's be rational about this, right? But there's just so many people, and they get in so much trouble because there's, if you really wanted to, I think it's 5 figures. You know what I'm saying? Getting a book together, cover design and book design, and you know what I'm saying? you know what I'm saying? All these different rounds of editing.
And where I get nervous is when people talk to me about getting loans.
Some people talk to me about,
kind of fund,
developing their book. And I'm like, well, because again, if I could somehow make that back relatively quickly, that would be one thing. But if I don't, if you don't have a following, you're not a celebrity. If there's not some kind of reasonable expectation that you're going to be able to get that money back, you know what's within your budget.
And, nothing more.
Nothing more. You know what I mean? Until you can financially handle it. I have referred many people to various free services as opposed to going with us, because again, at the end of the day, I want you to be well, and I want this to be. I'm always willing to take a check, right? Like most people. But at the end of the day, I want to be able to sleep at night, and I don't feel like taking money that you need to live or putting you in debt is the way to go. But that's just me. There's some companies I'm sure that do that, but I just feel like, no, if you're struggling like that, let's figure out how we can get the services out. It's not going to be the same as hiring a professional, but let's see if we can get something similar done for free. And I'll just walk through that, because like it's nothing to go bankrupt over. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
I agree. I agree. You want to give me that money? All right, I'll publish your book.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna play a Friends commercial, and then I have a question that I want to ask you. So this commercial may not apply to you. But it does in the Northeast.
All right.
Bear with us.
Welcome to Dial Shovel, your local residential snow removal service. Please contact us if you have any questions. We look forward to helping you keep your property safe and clear. Our number is 774-634-6200.
All right. I don't know if you heard that.
It flashed up for a second.
There's a little bit of lag here.
But that's cool.
My question to you, Miss Tenesha L. Curtis. Who would you like to see on the Really Charlie podcast?
I too have a list for you.
Okay.
So I will get that to you. I think just to add a little bit on top to her.
I'm going to go ahead and say Latasha McCauley.
Go ahead and say Latasha McCauley. And let me tell you.
One for novels, one for short stories.
One for novels, one for short stories, and one for poetry. And she won 2 of the. Yes. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna say
Natasha McCauley. She won the novel.
Natasha McCauley. She won the novel opening contest, which is where you just submit the first 1,000. Just y'all, right? We see who has the best one. And she won that for My Husband Was a Mass Murderer.
And it got it.
And it got it. It was like, okay, yeah. So I think that was good. And then she won the poem. I'm trying to remember the title of the poem. But again, if you go to writerworkuniversity.com, click on the contest link. It'll go to the winners page that we have right where you can see
and everything like that.
So I thought, this would be a good opportunity to kind of shout her out, because she really took on my armful of gold this year regarding winning these Writerworks University contests. So she would be really cool. Another one is Julia Olivia. Really prolific. I don't know how into but like as far as just the craft and like
and that's like I said, those 2 I feel like I have
of writing. I think she would be
and then I will give you a list. Absolutely, there are many. There are wonderful, especially here in Georgia.
Okay, I'll do that.
In Georgia.
What I'm going to do is go to Writer's Works and share those contests that you did mention and the winners. I will share that on the Really Charlie podcast page on Facebook and Instagram. I'll definitely do that. And but get that list to me. Like I told George, I will add it to the list and put it in the agenda so I can. I'm going to be way ahead of the game, but I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
I'm going to be way ahead of the game, but I don't mind that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Versus being behind.
Well, Tenesha, please keep in touch with me.
Keep in touch with me.
Anything. I really am going to do my best to get down there on April 29th. No, I'm not 6'2".
No, I'm not 6'2".
185 pounds. I'm more like 5'7", 2 something. And I always got these glasses on in this hat. So if you see me running at you when we get to Atlanta, don't be alarmed. All right? It's only for big hug. That's all right.
Gotcha. Fair. I can handle that.
All right. So you let me know when we can do this again. We'll definitely do that. I will send you. I will send you something on Fireside. See if you want to go on there first before we come back. This podcast. And Jeff Shaw says it was great listening to you both. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Good dude. Amazing. So all right. So we're gonna do this again. We said it on the air.
That's right.
It's a contract between two adults, so it's binding, right?
That's right. Yes, absolutely.
All right, my new friend. I
will keep in touch with you.
All right.
Thank you. You're the best. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. You too. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. You too. I
Take care.
appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
All right, everyone. That was Tenesha Curtis. And I am going to throw her name all over the airwaves, all over my platforms, do the best I can to definitely get this woman noticed. And she's already noticeable. She's doing her thing. And I can't wait to endorse her, As you see, she definitely has the ambition, the drive to make you a better writer. She wrote out some books and kind of self-explanatory. And it's going to put you through the process of writing your book, your story. Now, I've talked to a couple of you this week. And I want you to understand that, you know what? I'm sending you some people that are going to help you. So if you want to get your story out, Tenesha Curtis is the person to go see. And this is her website. It's her name. All you do is go to her name, TeneshaLCurtis.com. And the rest is up to you. Reach out to her and get your material out there. I mean, it's been one of the greatest things I ever did in life, and that's write books. And now I'm waiting for your book. All right, thank you, Christy, Jeff Shaw. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you for the comments. I really enjoy them. And you can find me, the Really Charlie Podcast, on StreamYard, Anchor, Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Fireside. If you want to be on the show, please send me an email, reallycharliepodcast@gmail.com, and I will definitely get back to you. And we'll put you on the show. God bless everybody. And as I like to do, end my show with my favorite song by Lionel Peter Walker. God bless. Stay blessed. Stay out of that cold weather or rainy weather. All depends on what part of the country you are laying your nest at. All right, here we go.
It's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bump into your broadcast, grab a chair, fill your glass. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bump into your broadcast, grab a chair, fill your glass.